This is the last lecture in our introductory course to Commitment-Based Project Management, or CBPM. The intent of this two-part introduction has been to give you an overview of CBPM and then to help you get started with a few of the ongoing practices of CBPM so that you can judge the value of them yourself. And we hope be interested in learning the whole CBPM approach. Hopefully, you can see now what we mean when we describe CBPM as a structure and tools to help you and your team have the right conversations to operate from commitment, from choice, rather than compliance. It has been our experience that teams who actively manage their commitments to each other throughout the project are more likely to be winning teams. That is, teams that make strong personal commitments, do what they say they will, demonstrate mutual respect with their teammates, and have a greater sense of control over their own success because they know when they need help and they're comfortable making requests. In the first course, we introduced the idea of creating a climate of accountability on your team. Teams without accountability have bad surprises. They have finger-pointing between team members, mediocre results, and usually a lot of pent-up frustration. We think life is too short to work in this type of project environment. If you've completed the actions recommended in this course, you have the basis for a new set of conversations in your regular team meetings. If you continue to use these new practices, there are a number of other important conversations recommended to master CBPM. One of these we call the breakdown conversation. Technically, a breakdown is simply a break in the natural flow of things. For example, something completely unexpected impacts the project from the outside, or one of the team members misses a commitment without an early warning. When you are operating from commitments, breakdowns are more likely to be called out and talked about. Because team members are declaring their commitments in the team meetings, and we are assessing what's been done in the team meetings, it will be especially obvious when a miscommitment breakdown has occurred. It's important that you and your team understand that breakdowns are not always bad. They often create possibilities and opportunities that hadn't been considered before. When a team realizes that something needs to change if they're still going to meet their goal, it often creates the opportunity for innovation. So it's important that the reaction to breakdowns is not one of groaning and finger pointing, but rather simply a conversation to get us back into strong commitment mode. We recommend 3 questions to guide this conversation. What happened? What's missing? What's next? First question is what happened? This is not about explanations and excuses. It's simply what was supposed to be done that is not. Or what was the plan that we now know will not work? What's the gap that needs to be closed? The second question is what's missing? This is about what needs to be in place that is not currently in place in order to close the gap. Who needs what? Be aware, it's not always a deliverable that's missing. Sometimes it's a specific conversation that's missing, with the customer or with a supplier, for example. And that leads us to question 3, what's next? What new commitments will close the gap? Who's making those commitments? If you continue to apply CBPM in your regular meetings, you will no doubt have the opportunity to try out these 3 questions in response to breakdowns. A tougher conversation needs to occur if there's a pattern of not giving early warnings. If a team agrees to operate from commitment but is having lots of breakdowns, they are failing to hold themselves accountable. When team members are not held accountable for these small early breakdowns, you and the team are setting yourselves up for big surprises later. It should not only be up to you, the project manager, to hold others accountable, but part of your leadership role is stepping out ahead of the group and modeling the right practices, even when they're not completely comfortable for you. Managing each commitment well is a challenge for everybody in today's work environments where there's often a general sense of overwhelm. But isn't that all the more reason to take a new approach to managing the work and to make sure that the important stuff gets committed to, gets managed, and gets done? Conversations to address issues like this will be easier when you've started off the project with the right conversations. If you pursue CBPM further, you will learn about a set of conversations and techniques for kicking off new CBPM projects. Here's a summary overview of those conversations. The next conversation after number 6 is about what each of us commit to deliver over the next few weeks. And this brings us right back to the ongoing commitment conversations in your regular meetings. Most of these are alignment conversations. But if you want to help a team operate from commitments, you need to begin with enrollment conversations. Mastering this whole set of conversations is how you can learn to be a true leader and create accountability on your project teams. We cannot effectively teach all of these conversations and techniques in an online course. So if you're serious about managing committed teams, if you would like to move beyond hand-holding, excuses, and finger-pointing, you should consider coming to one of Ensemble's live workshops. Please let us know if you're looking for this opportunity to help us better schedule and locate our public workshops. And remember, however you learn CBPM, you are welcome and encouraged to apply for our performance-based CBPM certifications offered in partnership with ISPI. Good luck with your new practices, and please consider subscribing to our blog at www.ensemblemc.com.